Good evening, fellow ghouls and specters alike. It's your ghost host with the most, Tiki here.
And Blue Dragon 5, here to engage in some haunted holiday hijinks by trudging through the catacombs and dusting off the cobwebs to recount our spooky selection of Halloween classics.
So light the jack-o'-lantern, suit up, and grab the candy dish as we revive and recount tonight's spooky selection. Samurai Jack X X X V, aka 35, aka Jack in the Haunted House. Mwah! Mwah! Roman numerals. All right. Okay, Dragon, I'm not even gonna beat around the bush here, buddy. I fucking love this episode so much. This is it's right up my alley, dude. It's so atmospheric, it's surreal, it's creepy, it's nerve-wracking, even as an adult, in my opinion. I mean, this episode just scores all the points with me, man. Just all the tiki points, Just give them. Yeah, I'm stoked for this one, buddy.
Okay.
I think it's going to go by pretty quick because it's mostly just a lot of visuals. Like, there's not too much dialogue in this episode. It's a lot of visuals and a lot of action. Of course, in the Grand Samurai Jack style. But, yeah, I mean, this is it's just firing on all cylinders. The atmosphere is just incredible in this one. Great style, great visuals. I mean, really, really standout animation here.
Yeah, it was a 50-50 shot on this one. It was either a haunted house or Jack versus the zombies, and it looks like we picked right.
I mean, I'll definitely be down to do Jack versus the zombies. I just think this definitely just sings for me, buddy. It's right up my alley.
Yeah, so the first time you've ever seen this one, or?
I mean, I've definitely heard of it. I definitely know about it through the zeitgeist. I'm not like unaware of it, but yeah, it is the first time that I've actually sat down and watched it. Believe it or not.
All right.
So yeah, and definitely made a good first impression on me. Having said that, Dragon, I feel like I need to watch like an hour long video essay to get all the symbolism of it. So I apologize, because I literally just watched it. So I apologize if I'm not entirely up to speed on all the symbolism and everything, because it does feel very dense. But I mean, God, from what I've seen, it's just damn good.
Yeah, this one was always a little effective for me. I mean, you gotta imagine, one of Samurai Jack's strongest attributes is its visual storytelling. It's Tartakovsky's fare. It's what the man lives. Imagine how much that lends itself to the horror medium, to the kind of the spooky medium of it all. Like, well, we're gonna scare some people. We're gonna put Jack in a scary situation. I mean, what better occasion? They do a lot of kind of visual storytelling with it, and kind of a little mystery unfolds, and a lot of scary stuff happens, and it's quite memorable.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's get into it.
Dragon, I
Let's
feel like
embark.
one last thought. I feel like this is a very good. This would be a very good double feature with the Puppet Master, don't you think?
True.
They both came out around the same time. They both were part of like really landmark series from rival networks.
Sure.
All right. Okay. Yeah, let's get into it. So, Dragon, we start with a scene that is like it's straight out of Sleepy Hollow, and I love it.
Well, much like Puppet Master, we start with a full moon shot.
Mm-hmm.
Full moon with the tree.
I apologize, folks. Most of this podcast is just going to be me like, I love the style. I dig the style.
Yep. We don't do refunds, folks. I'm sorry. Okay, so all right. So I got full moon. You got the trees. We're at night. You got the wind blowing. Jack, as he tends to do. Again, very Aku light episode. You'll notice no Aku at all in this one.
Yeah.
Which does happen sometimes. Jack, he's always usually looking for a portal. This is like on the road to a portal, presumably.
But I like how Jack's on edge, like very subtly on edge.
I love that Jack's no dummy. He's not like like the survivor girl in a slasher movie. He's not just like bumbling through his way here. Like Jack, he's smart enough to okay, something's amiss here. I'm gonna approach this cautiously as it goes on. It's like Jack's seeing the signs. He's been around. He knows okay, this a little unnerving. I'm gonna be
So,
careful.
like I said, Dragon, this is straight out of Sleepy Hollow with the owls and the insects and everything. Just all the sound effects, all the trees. Jack kind of like lingering around nervously. It's straight out of Sleepy Hollow, and I love it.
Sure. So yeah, Jack's making his way through the woods, and he finds someone.
Yes, he finds a little girl.
Little girl crying. We don't get a full glimpse at her. She's all cloaked and everything, but clearly little girl crying. Who then flees as kind of Jack spooks her kind of Bambi style. Like noise kind of scares her off, but she drops her plush toy. Now, you may not, I don't know how aware of this episode you are. I hear the toy. If you look at it, it's kind of the design of this little plush toy. It's a nod to one of the previous episodes of this season. It's called Jack and the Annoying Creature. You ever hear about that one?
I've heard of it, yes, but I've watched very little Samurai Jack outside of the final season, so.
Basically, there's this giant kind of Totoro-esque companion that's annoying Jack all the way through the episode. It's quite funny.
That sounds delightful.
Has a great payoff. I won't spoil it. You gotta watch it for the payoff if you watch it. Okay.
All right.
Anyway,
I'll keep that in mind. That sounds really fun.
So, point being, a plush toy looks remarkable like the annoying creature from that episode. Anyway, so point is, Jack, very simple objective for this episode: return the doll to the girl that he accidentally spooked.
Return the doll.
Yeah, this is why we love Jack. It's Jack. I love Jack interacting with children too. It's always adorable when that happens. So he's gonna find the girl, return the doll. Quite simple. They don't have to find like a time portal fight like a giant monster. You'd think. So Jack,
Faku's daughter.
True. We'll do that.
None of that shenanigans.
It happens. Okay, so Jack goes after the girl to return the doll, which leads to leads him to this old school abandoned Japanese house on a hill.
It leads to what I would love to see Disney do with a Japanese-inspired haunted mansion, Dragon. I don't know why they have not done
we kind of have that now, don't we? With the, am I thinking of the right one, or am I thinking of Shanghai?
What are you thinking of?
Well, remember they have like their version of, there's an overseas version of the Haunted Mansion where it's not the Haunted Mansion.
Are you thinking of Mystic Manor?
Yeah, Mystic Manor. Where is that?
That is Hong Kong, I believe. And the thing with that is that it is kind of Oriental in design, but it's not like distinctly like a Japanese palace. It's not like this, It honestly, the design is kind of like multicultural.
Right. Well, definitely not Japanese because it's Hong Kong, but yeah, that's why I was trying to snuff that out there.
Yeah, that too.
Or Hong Kong in this case. All right. But yeah, it's a good idea too. I mean, obviously, you could definitely stylistically kind of do it up like that. Tiki, I bet you when the sun's out, if the sun catches this place from the right angle, I'm sure this place, the mountain and the hills just sing, wouldn't you? Then I saw house. When I wrote down house on a hill in my notes, I popped in my head like, oh, okay, I got to use that. Okay.
Nice.
Anyway, Japanese house on a hill looks really cool. Jack enters. He begins to go up the stairs, the main entrance, and of course, he's grabbing on the railing and breaks. Bad omen. I love the bit where he drops the doll and he puts it like in the lapel pocket of his gi, so he doesn't lose it again. Like those little details I love when Tarkovsky does this. Like, you wouldn't want to drop it again, so he puts it in there. So let's see. So he goes up to the door, and before he enters, because he sees like a little figure within the door, but it kind of goes back in when he's climbing up the stairs and he stumbles. So he sees a moth that kind of shows him the other entrance, leads him to the other entrance on the side. And what happens with this moth, Tiki?
the moth flies into the door, and then a bunch of other moths start flying out. Like, bam! First jump scare of the episode.
Yeah, you know what the alternate title of this episode should be? It should be Jack versus the jump scare. Because there's a lot of jump scares for Jack in this episode.
There's even like another jump scare when Jack goes for the door, and like another moth flies out. Ah!
I'm saying, like, the one goes in there, he opens and like, moths!
Alright, so he slowly reaches for the door, very determined.
I love the sweat detail. You can see the sweat, and again, the timing on Jack, very cautiously going for the door now, as he sees the silhouette of the lady on the other side, and of course opens it up. No longer there, he's now entered the home.
Alright, love this atmosphere. Again, take a shot for every time I say that.
Now, how can, Tiki, I pose this to you, how can the atmosphere that we're already building get any better?
I don't know how, Dragon.
Well, I mean, that's when we do the next stylistically awesome thing. You know, we knock over the...
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, we knock on the little clay pot on the ground, and then, like, I don't even know how to describe it, Dragon.
It's like a bowl or an incense pot of some kind. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, we have this... It's like this, it's a nightmarish minimalist ink style. It's kind of like, essentially, it's like an expressionistic kind of inkish style. Like, it's all black and white, and basically it's just really haunting... it's just real. The creepiest thing is the sound design in this episode. Because
absolutely, or the lack of sound design.
That's the thing. It's like a lack of sound design. Basically, whenever we're in like the black and white minimalist style, it's like we're going through a wind tunnel. You know, that's the only sound that's there.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
And outside of that, it's just kind of like there are actually some really fun nods in the score. Very slight, really clever nods in the score as we get to it, as he kind of makes his way through the house. But yes, the point being, he touches these items, these very specific items, casually through the house. And they kind of trigger sort of like a little flash of something, a little clue to the mystery. I love the mystery idea of this episode. Jack kind of, we the audience as well as Jack are kind of putting together the pieces here. Like, why am I getting these flashes? What is going on here? What are we building to?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we're seeing like essentially the family of victims here, and kind of little snippets like something bad happened here. I'm going to be on my guard. Because we're seeing like this broken candle and all these poor little bonsai trees that are bringing a tear of Miyagi. So, all right. Okay, let's see. So then, so he grabs the candle, he lights it, and he's exploring the place. Very exploring the place, little kind of Scooby-Doo style.
Do. We have to mention the statue in the middle of the room too, and the cobwebs. Just every little detail just really stands out. All the stains on the wall.
Well, it's also, here's the thing. Obviously, this is way before this thing happened, but a little Slender Man-esque. It's a little like, it's like those games, like a Five Nights at Freddy's or a Slender Man, just kind of Jack happening upon these items, and like something really scary happens. And
I can see that. Yeah.
There's a very Slender Man. There's a little bit of Scooby-Doo. There's a lot of Slender Man in this. It's quite. It's quite.
Way before Slender Man chronologically, but
well,
yeah,
I know,
get
that's
what
I'm saying. I'm saying, yeah. But yeah, like all sorts of nods, some intentional, some just kind of like before their time. So let's see. So the candle blows out, and the smoke leads him to the next room of this haunted mansion.
Mm-hmm.
Smoke leads him to the boys' room. This room filled with model.
Oh God!
A little model building room, and he finds a boat. Oh, and what a boat he finds!
Oh, what a boat!
So he touches this little model boat, and he flashes on the sun painting it, and just go, oh boy, look at me build my little model boat, and I'm painting it, all that sort of stuff. And then an unseen force comes out from the trapdoor, very Sam Raimi style, very Evil Dead-esque.
Oh yeah.
Very Evil Dead shot. It's coming out of the trapdoor like, ah! All right, so then let's see. So then. Okay, so Jack is knocked for a loop by this, as any of us would be, and he's really wary of this trap door in the floor. Like, oh boy, okay, I'm not going.
I'm gonna run the opposite way.
Yeah.
Not gonna go there. Nope. And Dragon, he is acting like the opposite of a stupid person in horror movies, so you gotta give him credit.
Let us Aku's down there. I ain't gotta be.
He's being very on his guard about the whole situation. All right, so then he gets to a staircase. I love how he's holding the single candle in his hand, by the way.
I know, right? And again, the candle.
And how it lights everything.
Yeah.
All right, so he runs up the staircase, Dragon. He enters some sort of master bedroom, I assume. Something like that.
Yes. So now again, he's really exploring the place Scooby-Doo style at this point
Mhm.
now as he goes up the stairs. Hello, please, show yourself. I mean you no harm. He's like in the living room or something.
Mhm.
Um, I mean you no harm, and of course nothing. Very well. And he put, here's your doll. And he puts the doll in this is my favorite delivery by Phil Lamar in the episode. I mean, he's got some great ones in here. While minimalist in dialogue the episode is, as it tends to be on Samurai Jack.
Mhm.
I love when he says, "Very well. I'm leaving your doll right here on the." Because I initially when I watch, I'm thinking he's like looking for Jack over his mantelpiece.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
but
right.
no, he's really just being distracted by the next scary thing. I just love the idea. It's like on the mantelpiece.
And then flash to Horse in the Painting, Horse in the Scary Nightmarish Ink World.
BoJack's worst nightmare,
Oh,
and it's got ink too.
I don't think that's BoJack's worst nightmare, Dragon. I could think of a lot of other
Well, I'm
existential
saying it's the
things
one
that are
that nearly
BoJack's
killed
worst
him.
nightmare.
One nearly killed him with all that black ink.
Yeah, you're right. You're all right. Anyways,
Anyway,
so it is a very nightmarish image, and I love how this episode just kind of like gradually ramps up the scare factor as it goes on.
and the flash of the father, which my favorite thing in the episode. I love how the family in this kind of in a whole just setting does parallel a little bit of Jack's home life, a little bit of like kind of makes him a little nostalgic. I'd like to think.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Because again, also the father looks a little bit like Jack's father, a little bit, not entirely, but
I
again,
can see that.
the
Yeah.
whole effect. So anyway, goodbye, whoever you are, as he prepares to leave. Hears some footsteps, turns around, and what happens, Tiki?
Oh, what
What's missing?
happened? What's missing?
The
What's
mantle.
missing is yes, the mantelpiece. Thank you, thank you. I love stylistically we have like the box closing in on the mantelpiece and then like like zooming in like all these touches. It feels like a moving comic or something.
Yes, yes, the doll's gone, and those little panels are fantastic, and I love the reveal too, where we just like we completely black it out to the next place.
Mhm. All
All
right, so
right.
Jack finds the girl. What are
Yes.
you doing here? Is this your home? The girl just starts crying, and at this point, Dragon, we don't know what to make of this whole situation. We don't know if she's a ghost. We just have no idea. We're just putting the pieces together.
What's great about this too is on the rewatch, especially, you know that this girl's crying because she knows Jack's what's going to happen to Jack in this episode, at least what's supposed to happen to Jack in this episode, and the tragedy that's to be revealed. So it's quite that's why she's crying so much. Like, oh, why again? Which is really sad.
Right, right.
This girl's bait. She's the worm at the end of the anglerfish, man.
Yeah, 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 exactly.
All right. So what is
That's
wrong
just
with
me
her?
who feels guilty about being bait.
I love the innocence of the delivery of this kid's voice. Like, nothing. So I think we've been here too long already. So he tries to leave with the girl, and something's different. Something again, very slender. This is what I'm talking. This is like that Five Nights at Freddy's or Slender Man sort of thing. Where you go back in the room and something's changed. So something's
Sure,
different
sure.
in the
Yeah,
room
it's
now.
very Five Nights at Freddy's specifically with the going back into the room and something's changed. Yeah.
So all the entrances are now blocked off with they're all bricked up, including the windows. And this is the other fun thing with Phil Lamar's performance, where he's just like, "That's impossible," and he says, "Come with me." And he's just got keeps like, there was a window here." I just love how he there was a window here. I saw. He's really like, man, there was a window here. I'm not crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Very little detail.
Never, very rarely do we see Jack this panicked.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not. This isn't my thing at all. I'm supposed to be fighting like giant bug robots and everything. I'm not supposed to be in a horror movie. What's going
Oh, hey,
on here?
speaking of which, Dragon, speaking of which, this chamber has no windows and no doors,
Ah,
which offers you this chilling challenge to find a way out.
not bad.
Of
That's a good pull.
course, there's always my way. All right, I'm done. I'm done.
Not bad. Not bad. All right.
All right.
My favorite detail in this when Jack's running around looking for the windows, as he's holding the girl's hand, and when he runs, she basically becomes like a kite. Like
Oh yeah, yeah, totally, totally.
I love it. I love it. Just like she's got like kind of but like she's not following him. She's like being dragged by him. It's just really funny. All right, so Jack is puzzled, and the girl's really sad because she says, "Oh, it's happening." But again, we, the audience, at this point, don't know that. And says, "I'm tired and cold." Again, she's tired of all this horror that's happening. And again, I love Jack in this and being paired with the kid. He's like, "Yeah, let's. I too am uncommonly weary. So after some rest, we should find a way out."
I love how thoughtful Jack's dialogue is.
Yeah.
Uncommonly weary. I love the wording of that.
Yeah, and Jack, man, a few words, but those few words count.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's see. So Jack, he's awakened by some nightmarish black and white flashes. By the way, are all like things that he's basically seeing the climax of the episode. Now, one, it could be that he's using footage. I like to think it's like a premonition. That's the way I like to take it.
Yeah, it could be. It's both. It's both.
So we see kind of this dragon-looking demon thing briefly, and again that Evil Dead trapdoor coming back.
Right.
All right, so he finds the girl has disappeared. First the doll, now the girl, now the windows. What's next? Jack's freaking out. He stumbles upon. Jack's curious, like what the heck's going on here? He stumbles upon a rather inviting room.
Yes.
Very indicative of his feudal Japan room.
Hey, Dragon. Guess what time it is?
Tea time.
It's tea time, baby. Oh yeah, tea time in this very unconventional house that suddenly is daytime in the middle of nighttime.
Yeah, I'm just imagining Howard Hamlin in like kind of feudal garb, and he's just like,
dude, hey. Are you kidding me? Howard Hamlin would be all into the Japanese tea thing, man.
He would.
He would like take his shoes off and sit on the little pillow.
And he would.
All right.
Okay. So, all right. Okay.
I've been to one of those places, by the way. It was absolutely delightful. It's one of my earliest foodie memories. Anyways.
Right. All right. Let's see. Okay. Anyway, so he enters this very old, the one intact room of the whole house. It seems, it's like very, very feudal Japan-esque. He enters, and the girl is sitting down to tea with her family.
Mm-hmm.
And the family invite Jack to join. And Jack knows something's wrong here. Wait a minute. This isn't, the windows are gone. This just appears.
Jack suspects something.
Like, Jack, I want to see the remake of Scream with Samurai Jack. That's the only remake of Scream I want to see.
God. That's a random pull, but sure.
But I'm just saying he knows all these. He's got a good head on his shoulders. Okay, something's wrong here.
So you're saying that Jack is the Seth Green in this equation?
Well, don't you mean Jamie Kennedy?
Is it Jamie Kennedy who's the guy?
I'd be shocked if it was Seth Green, Tiki, but it's supposed to be Jamie Kennedy, yeah.
I was pretty sure. Okay, hold on. Go ahead.
Anyway, so... But yeah, so the point is Jack knows something's up here. Family, they play it off like, they're playing off like, no, everything's fine. Come on in. And basically, it's just like Jack's not buying. And of course, the wife pours him some tea, and of course, the father here's like, why don't you try the tea? And that'll be the test to assure you everything's quite real. If you can taste the tea, surely it's real.
Dragon, we're both wrong. It was Matthew Lillard.
Well, no, he's the bad. I mean, the guy with all the horror movie tropes, Tiki.
Yeah, that's Matthew Lillard.
Oh, read the other cast members, Tiki.
All right, you know what? Forget this. I'm sorry.
You read the other cast members, didn't
you? Yeah. You're right. I got the two mixed up.
All right. So, anyway, point being, like, hey, why don't you try some of the tea? That'll be a test. This is all quite real, and he does. And he introduces the family. This is my daughter Kuni, my son Toby, and my wife Yamiko.
Mm-hmm.
So Jack's trying the tea, and how is that tea, Tiki?
Oh, it's very good. Very good tea.
This tea is quite good. Again, it's kind of the pie. This would go great with Harry's pie, don't you think? The pie's so good, the tea is quite good.
The tea is quite good.
Yeah.
All right.
So the point being, they're kind of reminiscing here. This is what I'm talking about. This is like the big thing for me of the episodes. Again, Jack, he kind of sitting down the tea with some folks that kind of remind him of his own here. Like he kind of reminisces, like, oh yeah, where are you from? I'm from the southern part of Edo. Oh, my parents went there. We spent summers there. And I just love that this brief respite for Jack amongst his journey, because again, Jack's always trying to go home, and in a sense, this episode, while he's not looking for a portal, he gets to go home and the journey. We kind of fuel the journey in an unconventional way. I really appreciated that with this episode.
Sure, sure. So Jack's kind of questioning, like, why is this room so impeccable
compared to the rest of the house? And
Yeah.
we're saying, oh yeah, it was the Yamiko says, it was the storm, terrible storm. Dad's we see Dad here. He's going by a script essentially. He's
essentially, yes.
he's going with the script, which then turns it over to Toby. Hey, Toby,
Take it away, Toby. You're not gonna fuck this up at all.
Isn't that right, Toby? And okay, so folks, already we've kind of teased things up with like the black and white of it all, the minimalist kind of like jump scares and the mystery, little clues along the way. And if I'm right, I think I missed it, so I'm just going to cover here. I'm pretty sure there's a bit in the score where they kind of, it's like a nod to The Shining, where they play a score. It's a lot like when you go into the Overlook.
So like do.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
But earlier when he's in the house, he's either when he's in the house or when he's about to enter the house. It's kind of there briefly. Anyway, just want to make sure I get that in there. It's really cool. Anyway, so alright, so isn't that right, Toby? And then we enter the other. Like, how does this episode get any more memorable?
Oh god! So Toby's eyes literally just fucking roll back in the back of his head, Dragon. There's no two ways around it.
Tell our guest about your studies, Toby, and then oh boy, and then basically now Jack's nightmare premonition is coming true right now as the family's bodies begin to convulse, the eyes roll back, and they spit up this white goo. Mm-hmm. And then
oh man, this is like the shit just keeps ramping up from here, Dragon. The vomiting section is just ridiculous.
And then we have like these green flashes amongst like all the white bile coming out of them. And then
also the daughter's just again like, I'm sorry.
Like Cooney apologizing here. It's like, oh no, this is Jack. Run, Jack. Run like you're chasing Jill, Jack. Go on.
God.
All right. So then the music. Then here's where the score gets really great. Here. I love the record. The score. The soundtrack begins to skip as if it were a record. It's like it's like oh god, now the horror is truly about to take place. The green flash is the lack of score. Once we get into the whole thing here, we strip away the lies and like the whole little nice feudal Japan room. It disappears. The girl hides. Why wouldn't she? We're all terrified. And the family then summon out of the bios, like shooting up. Man, they summon the demon of black ink.
Oh man,
very dragon. It's like half dragon, half monster man. It's like a minotaur meets a dragon. It's terrifying.
Very, very great design.
Yeah, and again, like it's like the whole it's just made of this ink in the area, which gets really pronounced once we go into like the all white setting. But right now, still quite terrifying. Because the whole family turned into the ink too. Like they're not, the bodies aren't there. It's like this is all a lie. So this demon has been using this poor girl as a lure to lure travelers and collect more souls. Like many demons, they collect souls, being the idea, and this is essentially what's happening there. So then we go into the full trippy minimalist strobe effect style here, where we show what happened to each of the family members. Like the father was attacked by the demon on horseback, then the wife and the brother, and you get the idea. Of course, all the items that kind of connected to each of those two. So basically, we solved the mystery in a brief bit there, and then let's see. Then these ghoulish tendrils surround Jack, and then they wrap him up like it looks like black thorns, like thorn branches or something.
Yeah, he doesn't go out without a fight, but he does go down.
He does. Who attacks Jack? Literally, the house and the furnishings and everything. I love how the haunted house attacks Jack.
Oh yeah.
Chandelier tries to jump on him, then the tendrils get him, and point being, Jack is tied down, and then they're essentially this really creepy part happens. I know that sounds like the kind of the phrase of the episode. Then this really creepy part happens, but it does.
Well, Dragon, anytime like we have like a soul sucking type thing involved, then yeah. And I would say this is a good old fashioned soul sucking.
In other words, this episode is very creepy.
Very creepy. You want to hear my very creepy laugh?
Yeah. So, okay, so this really is the very creepy part right now. So as the demon roars, it has like a Godzilla metallic sound. Uh,
Uh,
it's the metallic roar is played over Jack's own scream
oh
as he's
yeah,
like
right,
yelling.
right.
That's what's really creepy. And then the thing's trying to suck Jack's soul out, which leads to this battle on like kind of this astral plane sort of thing, the all white minimalist fight here. When they suck that out, now we have the wind tunnel sound. That's all we have during this fight. No dialogue, no action sounds, just the wind tunnel.
I don't know how to describe it beyond just like it's a really well choreographed, creepy fight that's incredibly stylistic. But yeah, it's very
It's
memorable.
like calligraphy with it's like that not Spark Short. It's like that short circuit thing on Disney Plus. It's like when you can do the martial arts with the ink kind of following you almost.
Oh yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
But oh, like that. So yeah, so Jack again. My favorite details again. You get to see all the victims like in this little like they're trapped in almost like it's like the cover of that Riddler comic with Batman where like he's trapped in like the question mark cage, but it's like all the black ink. They're trapped in all these black ink cages, kind of floating in the soul space. All the poor victims and the family members. And Jack essentially he kind of wills his sword because he's in an astral plane. I'll give it a pass. It's like we don't care. I don't. It's fine. He
Right.
wills his sword free and cuts himself free, and then he mixes it up with this giant kind of demon guy. The demon kind of dwarfs Jack. He becomes huge, and he throws like this tracking blast at him, and Jack delivers a substantial blow, kind of tit for tat sort of. And then we have the big moment here where Jack he catches the tracking blast and just redirects it back at him, and boom, the windows break, the light comes in. It's morning. We're all saved. And it's daytime, and Jack won. He's alive. So's the girl. We beat the. Jack says, "Oh, you're alive. I beat I beat the demon
But I
possessed
thought the
house."
girl being alive was a good twist.
Yeah, yeah. So I love Jack here's apologizing. He says like, "I'm sorry, Cooney. I saw your family. I was not able to save them, and we can't end a Samurai Jack episode on that much of a downer. No, we need hope. Darn it." So then we have this heartwarming reveal. Tiki, what is the heartwarming reveal?
So the family comes from behind them. They're all reunited.
Yeah, Jack smiles, and even though Jack may not have gone home this episode, as he tends not to do, to his own family, he was able to. The hope has been rekindled with this act and reuniting the little girl with her family. Jack did some good, as he tends to do, and he's off, and that's the episode.
That's nice. All right, Dragon. Final thoughts. Final thoughts. I guess I'll go first. Yeah, like I said, I think this one is just a masterclass in imagery. It takes some of the best parts of stuff like Sleepy Hollow. It's almost a little bit David Lynch-esque too, with just all kind of like the static, surreal imagery of it all. Just blends it all together. Great mystery, great mood, great atmosphere. Easily one of the best Samurai Jack episodes I've seen, though keep in mind I'm absolutely behind on the show, but yeah, I really liked it a lot. It's one of my
Tiki
favorite.
doesn't jump good, folks.
No, I don't. No, I don't. All right, one of my favorite of the season so far.
Yeah, very effective, haunting episode, hence the title. I appreciate, again, as I said, I really appreciate the subtle connection, the layers to Jack's mission here with, versus like the obvious search for a portal thing. Nice to mix it up a little bit and also we're getting inside Jack's head as we tend to do with the visual style. Here we get to see him kind of go on a real scary adventure here. He gets to, he gets to see that, you get to see him be the smart guy in the horror movie at times, which is great. I love like the nods, like some classic horror and stuff. Again, just kind of with the with the soul sucking and like some of the Evil Dead nods and like just again like with Sleepy Hollow. Again, very all the touches are quite nice. Very again, it's what Tartakovsky does best. Again, kind of like little nods everything.
Mm.
Like like Wolf and Cub. Once we get to season 5, that sort of stuff. Like it's always nice to see kind of Jack kind of dip a few toes in different genres and stylistic things. Why you love it? Anything can happen. We took a samurai, we threw him in the future. Anything can happen. It's great. So yet another win in the Samurai Jack column for sure. Love it.
All right, well, folks, that's the end of tonight's spooky selection, and our spirits grow weary. But don't worry, they'll be back stronger than ever next time as we engage in even more haunted holiday Hijinks.
There was a window here.